Indy Mogul.
Hello internet friends and a happy Valentine's Day Eve to you. I'm sorry, that is not a thing. But we do need to celebrate today. It's Russell Hasenauer's birthday, host of Movie Quest. So leave him some birthday wishes in the comments below. But maybe more importantly, it's Chad Newhall's very merry unbirthday. It's your special day, Chad.
Look, I need some recognition too. It can't just be all about you that day.
On my birthday?
Last week, we met Tom Antos, the very talented filmmaker. And this week, he's right in the middle of production on his epic movie trailer. So today, he's going to show us how to achieve that awesome cinematic look with some pre-production planning and very careful lighting design.
Hi guys, my name is Tom Antos and I'm from the YouTube channel Polka99. Today I wanted to show you a little preview of this cool new project I'm working on. And then afterwards I'll show you guys how I did it. Here it is.
Gentlemen, he struck again.
Alright, so what you guys just seen is the opening of my new video, which is like this mock movie trailer. It's gonna have a little bit of everything. And I'm first gonna start off with this shot right here. I'll show you guys how I set it up. So you can't just show up, you know, on your location with the camera and the actors and think that things are just gonna automatically look good. You have to plan for everything sort of ahead of time. And the best way to do that is by doing storyboards. I usually like to storyboard all of my shots. This way I'm not wasting the actor's time on the day of the actual filming. I just basically show up and I already know what kind of shots I need to get and how many of them. So when setting up my shots, the first thing I start off with is placement of the actual camera. So here you can see I was trying out the angle and turned out that I was a little bit too close to the wall there, so I moved back. I switched my lens. In this case I used a 15mm lens. The camera I'm using, by the way, is a Canon 7D, but really these days most like SLR cameras and even some small compact cameras are good enough. They all shoot great HD video. So really it's not the camera that's going to make a difference in how your shots look, but it's how you design the shots. It's sort of the same thing that I talked about in one of my tutorials that I did on YouTube a while back, in which I was talking about how to set up and design your shot when filming, for example, just something simple outside with no lights. You can check out this video by clicking the link up here or by clicking the link in the description. Anyways, getting back to this shot. So once I picked up my angle that kind of matches what I storyboarded, I just kind of test it out up here. I see how it looks, and if I like what I see, then the next step is to set up the lights, because as you notice right now, it looks very just very boring. The lighting that was there actually at the location was not really interesting. First light is this redhead, which is a 1000 watt tungsten light that I put at the end of the hallway there behind the door, and I put a blue gel over it. Now I'm using a redhead light, a kit of like 2 of these lights that I bought for around $800, which can seem expensive, but at the same time it doesn't. You don't really need to buy an expensive light like that. You can just as well use a regular hardware light. And really the difference between a professional movie light and a regular hardware light are just those little things that make working with them more comfortable. For example, this movie light has nice barn doors which you can adjust, and you can really control the amount of light that spills. Whereas with a hardware light you can't really do that, but you can do something similar by just putting some tin foil around it, or in this case I'm using black tin foil, which you can get at any film supply store or order it online. Another thing is, for example, the professional movie lights, they come with nice stands that are easy to mount. Hardware lights are usually hard to mount on standard movie stands. They're kind of wobbly and stuff like that, but they still work. You can still do the same stuff, and it's just gonna maybe take you a little bit of extra time since they're not as easy to work with, but you'll get the same effect. Anyway, so that's the light that I used there at the end of the hallway. And then another light that I used in this shot is a softbox, and I have 2 softboxes. One is this big softbox, and then another one is this medium size, and both of them are just regular hardware lights. They're about 1,000 watts, and then all I simply did is I bought the softbox, which is like this. It has this metal mount, and then it has this big cloth, which kind of diffuses the light. And then to mount it to my hardware light, I just used a little wire that I kind of wrapped around the light and just hold it in place. The reason why I used this blue light, it was to kind of add a little bit of contrast and some color to this hallway, because all you really see there without any lights is just these plain white walls, and it just kind of looks boring. And with that blue light, right away you can see it just adds some nice blue color to it, and also that shine on the wall just kind of makes the shot look a little bit more interesting. Now, another thing I noticed while filming was that just this big wall up here that we see at the beginning of the shot looked really boring, and on top of that there was like a little hole here on the bottom and some wires sticking out. So basically, to cover that up and to make the shot more interesting, I added a little flower pot in the foreground. And then the final thing, I just did some basic color correction, and here's how the shot looks. And as you'll notice right away, it's more interesting than what we started with. Okay, now let's move on to the next shot. Again, I start off with the storyboard. Then once I kind of pick my camera angle that matches the storyboard, I set up the lights, and the lighting, since it has to match the first shot, is pretty much identical. Again, I have the blue light, but now I kind of shine it on her hair, since we're not really seeing too much of the wall. And then I moved that softbox a bit closer, just so that it lights up the actress' face a little bit better. Now, sometimes you guys won't be able to do storyboards simply because you will not know, let's say, what the location looks like, which was the case in here, where all I had was the script, and based on the description, I knew that all I really had to show was an alien, and then in the background, a person lying down in their underwear, getting ready to be probed. So on the day of the actual filming, what I would do is I would just take my camera, and that's where digital SLRs are really great, because they're so small and light that you can easily walk around with them, and I would just test out different angles. So you can see here one angle, which I didn't quite like, because when the alien turns, he kind of covers the person's head there. Another angle, it looks better, but also he covers too much of him. And then when I just moved the alien to the left side here, it was better, because throughout the whole time you could see the face, and the reactions of the other actor. So the first thing I do is I cover up the walls and the furniture with some black material, and I just use some tape and just tape it to the walls. Then we found these weird little decorations just lying around, so we decided to tape them to the chandelier and just make it look like some weird alien environment. Then this is how the shot looks, with the walls covered. And as you can see, I didn't have enough black material, but I had some other like blankets and stuff that I put up there just to cover it up. And for the alien, all I simply did was, I bought a rubber mask at a Halloween, costume store. It cost around $20, I think. And I just put it on one of the actors. And right there you can see it already looks, starting to look at least sort of like some alien spaceship. And now the next thing is the lighting. So when I turn off all the lights in that location, then it looks like this. You obviously can't see anything. And then I have one light, just a simple light, which in this case was one of my redheads. But again, you can use a regular hardware light. I just put a green gel over it, and I just kind of shine it up here at the alien. Then the next light is on the guy in the background there, which is again the same light, but I put yellow gel on it just to kind of make it look different. And then the last light was sort of lighting the alien here from behind, which was just a straightforward hardware light, and it has this kind of it's a fluorescent light, so it has a blue tint to it, and it just kind of adds some more interesting details kind of to the other side of the alien's face. And then the last thing I do is add some color correction. And as you can see, when you compare it to what we started off in the beginning, it looks drastically different. And again, it's all it took was a few simple steps, but they all make a difference. And then and the final thing, of course, we add some sound effects and some music, and looks something like this.
It's got aliens.
Test subject 60 analyzed.
And zombies.
Next week on the Awesome Directors Project, Tom Antos will show us how adding some movement to our shots can make him look even more cinematic. And it doesn't always take a dolly or a Steadicam. So I'll see you next week, and don't forget to check out Movie Quest this Wednesday.